I'm Dr. Arlen Myers. I'm President and CEO of the Society of Physician Entrepreneurs, and I work with ABAIM and MI10. And welcome to these office hours. I'm pleased to have as my guest today Eugene Posnikov. Hi, Eugene. Morning.
Hi, Arlen. Hi, everybody.
Good. So I thought today we would discuss data interoperability, since that's becoming more and more of an issue. And I should note as a disclosure that I'm the Chief Medical Officer for Cyberionics. So Eugene and I have had fun trying to figure all this out together and make sense of it. So hopefully we can share some lessons learned. So Eugene, thanks again for joining us from, you're in Fremont, California?
Yep.
Yeah. And for those who don't know where Fremont, California is, where is Fremont, California?
That's about 45 minutes southeast of San Francisco. Basically, it's the hometown for Tesla.
Ah, interesting. All right. So why don't we get started? Why don't we just start off a little bit by introducing yourself and sort of giving us a thumbnail of your long entrepreneurial journey.
Thanks, Arlen. Yeah, so my background is in technology. I started in the early 90s, basically grew with the industry throughout these years, and kind of worked in different verticals, financial services, telecommunications. I could not, obviously, being in the Silicon Valley in the late 90s, early 2000s, avoid the dot boom and the dot bust. And then throughout the years, I had an opportunity and a chance to work in the healthcare and life sciences verticals. I ran a medical diagnostics equipment company over in Eastern Europe for a European company called ACFA Healthcare, and worked with AstraZeneca on some of their strategic initiatives of building manufacturing plants over in Eastern Europe. And then back in the United States, worked with a company that built essentially a systems integration framework in North America that addressed different types of challenges in the networking space, in healthcare and financial services. So that's kind of a quick overview of a 25 plus years of experience. And when I started this company, there were different venues to look at. And then kind of from my perspective, myself and some of my partners, we saw an opportunity to look at healthcare, which is extremely, from a business perspective, fragmented, for obvious reasons. And we thought that it would be a chance to enter into something that is experiencing what we thought is going to be a part of a large digital transformation process, which we are all observing right now in one way or another.
So, some people would argue that you run, not walk, from sick care. When you're picking a business, I mean, you've had international experience, you've had experience in all different kinds of industries. Why in the world would you take on sick care?
Yeah, so it's kind of an old adage that grass is greener on the other side. Having that sort of breadth of working in different industries gives you kind of an opportunity to understand that there's always a challenge of some sort. I mean, if you're looking for an easy path, then you should just take some kind of a retirement and go fishing. But fundamentally, there is always a problem. There is always an issue that you're going to be dealing with in one way, shape, or the other. Healthcare, or as you refer to it as sick care for obvious reasons sometimes, is something that affects everybody. It's something that you just, as an individual, you cannot avoid. In some part of your life, you yourself or your close ones are going to be affected by what we call healthcare and the industry. So for me, this was something of a personal interest. It also is an incredibly interesting technical opportunity. It also is an opportunity to learn a lot. So if you want to kind of stay relevant, if you want as a technologist, you kind of have to keep up your game. So this is a double whammy. It's painful, but at the same time, it's incredibly exciting.